A little bit less than a week, and we are right back where we started from. Welcome to the Emerald Tinora High School Gymnasium as DCTV Sports is on the air with the Estill Chevrolet Cadillac pregame show. Brent Balbinot alongside Scoop Miller as we are now at the end of the regular season, and it is a big GMC matchup as the Rams 11-9 overall, 4-2 in GMC play, welcoming the Hicksville Aces at 6-15. And it should be 1-5 respectively. Again, our thanks going out to our pregame sponsor, Estill Chevrolet Cadillac, located on North Clinton Street in Defiance, earning your trust one satisfied customer at a time. You can also check out their great selection of vehicles, new and used, online at drivebobestill.com. Scoop, again, Hicksville playing for pride, but you know darn well they would love to play the role of spoiler on senior night, even though they had senior night a couple weeks ago. This will be the final regular season game that a group of seniors that has represented not just the basketball program, but the school and the community with great distinction. They want to go out with one last win as they get set. Both clubs obviously wanting to put a little air in their sails as they get set for the first round of sectional playoffs.
Well, you're right. This is a game that no one's going to overlook right now. Tinora in a three-way tie for second place to GMC. Wayne Trace, being undefeated in league play, has already clinched the top spot. But right now, plenty of pride on the line, trying to secure a spot at second place, gets momentum heading into the sectional, which is just around the corner next week.
Again, this is a Tinora team that is at 11-9 overall. They had a three-game win streak snapped on Tuesday. Out-of-conference opponent Kalida. A woulda, coulda, shoulda situation. I know sometimes when you talk to coaches, you tip your cap to the opponent and say, you were better than us, you won. Sometimes you look yourself in the mirror and go, we didn't play our best. We lost that game. And no disrespect to Kalida, but if Tinora hit even 50% of their free throws on Tuesday night, they walk out of the gymnasium with a 4-game winning streak. You got to find a way to rebound tonight.
Well, you're right. You know, that's a tough lesson to learn there. The fact they played so well. They've won 8 of their last 11. And those 3 losses during that 11-game span have been to really quality teams. Wayne Trace, who we talked about, has already clinched the GMC with one of those losses. Patrick Henry was undefeated in the NWL as another one. And a very good Kalida program. But again, that was a 52-48 game. Yep. They left a lot of points on the table. That's one they would love to have back. But as you mentioned, can't look back right now. You have to take care of the present. And that's the Hicksville Aces coming to town here this evening.
I had a chance to stop out at practice last night and talk with head coach Andrew Thiel. Again, his squad looking at a very similar record compared to last year, except they have some unfinished business to take care of. They want to make a deeper run in the playoffs. It sets up nicely, but we're not putting the cart before the horse. On the flip side, Hicksville knows that their next opponent will be the first round of the districts as they'll be taking on Ayersville. I think most people that have followed the GMC this season would probably say that's a coin flip game. But hey, a win and advancing to earn the right to wear the uniform one more time is what it's all about this time of season.
It really is. And if you look at Hicksville, here's a team that really struggled a year ago, 3-20. But Coach Stemma's done a great job in her first season. They've already got 6 wins, playing for a lot of pride. But the fact, if you can get a tournament win under your belt, boy, that's going to be a big builder into the offseason.
First things first, let's concentrate on tonight. That's what both coaches would say. We're going to take a quick timeout. When we come back, more of our Estill Chevrolet Cadillac pregame show. We'll hear from head coach Andrew Thiel. Our player profile tonight will be the senior Eowyn Blanchard. Blanchard enters tonight's contest as the second leading scorer on the roster, nearly 11 points per game, and the senior has come out of her shell. We'll let her tell you in her own words. Quick break. When we come back, more of the Estill Chevrolet Cadillac pregame show. You're watching DCTV Sports.
Estill Chevrolet Cadillac is this area's new and used car headquarters, earning your trust one satisfied customer at a time. Estill Chevrolet Cadillac, North Clinton Street in Defiance, and online at drivebobestill.com.
Welcome back. The Estill Chevrolet Cadillac pregame show is on the air again. As you can tell, we are here. We're trying to nickname this place the Emerald. We're trying to get it to stick. The first time I walked in, it was almost like a scene out of Wizard of Oz. Everything's green, got a lot of white here. It's one of the few facilities in Northwest Ohio that actually doesn't have a nickname. So we're going to try it. Is that okay? Unless you've got a second one that you'd rather.
That's fine. We've heard the Emerald. We've heard the Cliff. We've heard a couple different things here and there. So
the Cliff.
The Cliff.
It's kind of ominous, isn't
the
it?
The ram back there. I don't know, the Cliff.
A little bit. So you know what? Maybe we should just do maybe like an on-air, not like an auction, but just a survey and see what comes back. What do you think?
Let's do it.
I was going to say we could call it Thiel's Palace, but I'm not sure how many votes that would get just yet. Coach is being good-natured. We want to thank our sponsor. Again, Estill Chevrolet Cadillac, located on North Clinton Street in Defiance. Stop on out. Check out their great selection of new and used vehicles. They know everybody's on a budget. They've got a vehicle for you. You can also check them out online at drivebobestel.com. Brent Balvin alongside Coach Thiel, coming off the heels of a tough woulda, coulda, shoulda ball game on Tuesday. But part of the beauty of basketball is, unlike other sports, you don't have to wait. And in your case, barely 24 hours, maybe make that 48, one day to practice, and then on a Thursday night, getting set to take on Hicksville. Let's go ahead and talk a little about what you do in basically that sandwich afternoon. As we're standing here on a Wednesday, how do you break down the previous game, but at the same time get ready for the scout for the next one?
Yeah, it's important to go back and kind of review what went well, what didn't go well from the previous night. The first half the girls did really well last night as far as rebounding. Shots didn't fall for a while there in the first quarter. I think both teams were scoreless last night until about 4 minutes left, halfway through the first quarter. So things were slow. We were patient, which isn't a bad thing by any means. But, the second half, they picked up the pressure a little bit. We didn't execute the way we were in the first half. So it's important to go and reflect on that kind of stuff, see how we can improve moving forward. But then it's a lot of film study moving forward because you've got Wednesday and it's a short practice for us on Wednesdays. Sure. Have to be out by 6, so essentially an hour and 15 minutes per program, boys and girls. It's a lot of film work, though. Going home last night, watching some film today, watching some film, getting things ready, looking at some of the different offensive sets that Hicksville is going to run, some of the different defenses they're using in games, the different presses they're using, scorers, shooters, rebounders, different things like that. So it's important to get that stuff on film and get the girls working in practice the next day.
Obviously, you've got to be able to flush it. The old cliche is not too high after a win, not too low after a loss, but you do want to be able to take something from whether a loss or a win. It was a 52-48 final score, a game in which the Rams had a 7-point halftime lead. You and I were talking about it before we hit the air here, though. Free throws actually aren't free. They do have a cost, especially if you make them. Is there any way to practice, any way to simulate? I know you break down and shoot free throws, but there's no substitute for an actual in-game experience. Anything you can do to improve on that?
I've actually talked to a lot of different coaches about that, different people within the game to see. I've even asked the girls, like, what are some ideas you've got to make it more game-like? We shoot them with tired legs. We shoot them, different times through practice. We hold accountability with them. But a lot of it comes down to mental ability here. How are we going to prepare for this at the line? Our approach to the free throw line
needs to be the same all the time, correct?
Yes. Muscle memory. I don't know. There's a lot of different things that go on when you line up the line, ready for that ball to come to your hands and put it through the net. But it's a lot of it's mental. You go to the line and there's games on the line. You need these free throws. It's tough. It's a tough situation.
Rest assured, you're going to find yourself there again. Not just tonight, but the rest of the season, especially into the postseason. Yeah. Let's go ahead and talk about last night's performers, though. Again, it's easy to talk Supernova. I know we've kind of joked. Has she gotten that nickname before?
I've never heard that one.
Supernova. We'll have to ask her if she actually knows what a supernova is, if she's into her science. But she is, absolutely. Obviously, Derpy's going to be playing at the next level. Awen Blanchard, I don't want to say becomes an anonymous voice in the chorus.
Right.
But she's quiet. She's unassuming. And it's not uncharacteristic for her to do what she did Tuesday night against Kalida, leading the charge with 20 points. Does she know how good she can be on any given night?
There's times, we've talked to her throughout the season, there's been a couple times where the ball doesn't go through the net the first couple shots and she gets down a little bit. But, we have to encourage her to shoot the ball more. Last night, that was one of the things we talked about in her first half. Keep shooting the ball. It's going to find the bottom of the net. And again, last night she comes through with 20 points, whatever it was. And Saturday against Elmwood, she had 22, led the team in scoring. She's a capable scorer. She's got a nice pull-up jumper. She can handle the ball well. We need her on the floor. We need her putting the ball through the net.
We're going to hear from her in just a couple of minutes. Before we do that, though, Scout, Hicksville. I know the record isn't what they want, but that doesn't mean that they don't have some talented players. Break them down for us.
Well, they have the 44 Mall girl. She's, as a post player, she's got nice moves inside, but she can shoot anywhere outside, too. She's kind of a wild card because, again, she can shoot 3 feet behind the three-point line if she wants to, and it's a nice shot. For a post player to come out and guard her, it's kind of dangerous. Not that she's not necessarily real quick driving to the basket, but she can still drive to the basket too. They've had the Adams girl a couple of years now. They had Sanders out there shooting really well last night. I was watching that last night. They played Antwerp. She had 2 or 3 there in the corner, from the left corner. They've got shooters. They've got scorers. They throw different defenses at you. They're very similar to what we've got going right now too. Their record isn't their record doesn't reflect their talent, I don't think. And so we know we're going to get a dogfight tomorrow night with them.
Look, this is a chance to pick up your 12th win of the season, to go 5-2 in conference play, but also take care of business on your home court, especially for the senior class. While they've admitted they're trying not to let everything become too sentimental, it's getting there.
Yeah.
Do you need to give any pregame speeches, or will this one take care of itself?
We'll talk about being the last regular season game. We do host LC next Saturday here for a sectional championship game, but last regular season game, it's Hicksville. It's the seniors' last time playing Hicksville.
Yep.
Last couple of years has been a lot of fun playing Hicksville. We've had some pretty good games against them. So again, you can't rely on that. You can't expect that this season. It's a GMC team. All the GMC schools, anybody can win any given night.
And we could do a whole hour interview just on the psychology of coaching with this guy, but right now we'll draw the curtain of charity on this one. Coach, as always, we appreciate it. Appreciate you giving me access to the program, the players, the practices. One more time, good luck tonight.
Absolutely, thank you.
Coach Steele joining us on our pregame. We're going to take a quick timeout. Our player profile is Eowyn Blanchard. Don't you go anywhere. We're back with more of the Estill Chevrolet Cadillac pregame show on DCTV Sports.
Discover top-quality healthcare education at Northwest State. Our instructors have real-world experience, so they know how to prepare you for great career opportunities. Northwest State, where you'll get the top-quality healthcare education you need to succeed.
Welcome back. The Estill Chevrolet Cadillac pregame show continues. As you can see, we are at Tinora. We had the girls last week at Ayersville. Now they get a home game, and as we get towards the tail end of the season, it is going to be the last couple of regular season games. We know they're planning on a deep postseason run for a senior class that has just been absolutely fantastic for the Rams. Brent Balbinot saying thank you for joining us. We also want to thank our sponsor, Estill Chevrolet Cadillac, located on North Clinton Street in Defiance. Check out their great selection of new and used vehicles in person on their lot, or you can log on and check them out at drivebobestil.com. Eowyn Blanchard joining us right now. Get excited, will you? She's smiling because Coach gave you what? Maybe half a day's notice that you were going to be our player profile? Was that enough time to get prepared?
Not really.
She's being honest. Let me ask you this question I always ask our player profiles, but if we're going to make you a pitch woman for Estill Chevrolet Cadillac, they say, Eowyn, take your pick of any car on the lot. What would you be driving off the lot with?
Oh, goodness. Probably a Mustang.
A Mustang. All right, fantastic. A convertible. Okay.
Yeah, probably.
We'll have to see if we can't find a quality used one for them there. In all seriousness, though, let's talk about, let's rewind, because you played just 24 hours ago is the time we're doing this interview. You're going to be playing against Hicksville tonight. Woulda, coulda, shoulda against Kalida. I mean, you dropped 20. As a matter of fact, you've dropped 20 plus in each of your last 2 ball games. Where's this team's mindset right now? As you know, you got just 2 regular season games left to go.
Just to finish strong, finish it out, and yeah, that's about it.
Now, as a senior, it's common for everything to get sentimental.
Yeah.
Right? This is the last time I do this. Last time I spend time with my teammates doing this. Has that hit you yet, or have you been able to kind of keep that compartmentalized where it needs to be and just focus on basketball?
Yeah, mainly just focus on basketball. I mean, it's been here and there. Certain things are like, oh yeah, this is my last time doing this or whatever, but minus that, it's been pretty closed off.
She can focus is what she's saying. Let's rewind to last season. Now, by your own admission, you were kind of quiet. I don't want to say you kind of hid because you were still an integral part of the team, but there were some senior leaders that also led, for lack of a better term. What were you working on in the off season over the summer? You said you played AAU ball.
Yep.
What were you working on to become a better player?
Just being more aggressive, working on my shooting and my dribbling and all the basics.
All the basics. So when you say you're shooting, because it's not uncommon for you to kind of be catch and shoot, you seem to like to camp out beyond the three-point arc.
Yeah.
Where's your shot? If you had to take a shot that you'd be the most comfortable with, and the game's on the line, Eowyn Blanchard wants the ball, where are you taking your shot from?
Probably like the wing, one of the wings.
Inside or outside the arc?
Probably a 3.
Probably a 3. She's saying probably. I guess it depends on if you need it.
Yeah, it depends on
Then
if we need it. A layup's easier, but
Well, you can drive. You're not afraid to put it on the floor, though.
yep, for sure.
Do you handle contact better this
Yes.
year than you did
Yeah.
last year?
Yeah.
Do you spend some time in the weight room? I was going
Yep.
to say, you look like you're filling out that shirt pretty good.
Yep.
How many days a week do you lift?
During the summer, I lifted twice a week, and then I went through a period of time where I was lifting basically every day, 4 times a day at least.
Uh-oh, part of the Giggle Sisters. You saw them in the postgame last week. She just had to come up and try and distract
Yep.
you. She's staying focused. She's staying locked in. What did Coach tell you? I know he sat and talked with all the players this year. When he got to you, what did he tell you he wanted you to do? What was your role this year?
Just be a leader, step up and lead, and do my thing.
Be more vocal?
Yeah.
Were you comfortable with that?
Yeah.
Did it get easier? Was there a time, or did it just slowly accumulate, so to speak, where you just stopped one day and looked back and said, wow, I am okay with being more vocal. I am okay with speaking to my teammates.
Yeah, definitely like encouragement from my parents to be confident, and from God to help me to be confident and be vocal with it.
So let's talk a little bit about goals, not just individually, but team-wise. You guys sit down and talk about what you expect from yourselves this year. What's still on the table for you?
A deep tournament run, hopefully, to go rather far in that, and I think we definitely can do that.
Let's go ahead and talk a little bit about student athlete. You have to crack a book, got to stay eligible to stay in the uniform.
Yep.
What's the GPA for you?
3.9.
3.9, so she's almost a perfect 4.0.
Yep.
She smiles. There's nothing wrong with that. Don't ever apologize for being smart. What about plans for after graduation?
Probably something in nutrition in that area.
You see, so you want to get specialty training for that, or is there a particular school that you're looking at?
Not yet. I'm keeping it open to whatever
She's
it
keeping
may
her
be.
options open. That's a smart move
Yeah.
as well. That's why she's a 3.9. We're not going to graduate you just yet. She'll be styling, cap and gown, diploma in hand here in a few months. You don't play any spring sports, so basketball is it
Yep,
for you, correct?
basketball is it.
How did you get interested? How did you get started with basketball?
I've been playing for as long as I can remember. My dad's a really big basketball fan and player, so that's how it started.
So he got you interested?
Yep.
Does he push it? Was he your first coach then, maybe, it sounds like?
Yes, he was my first coach, and then he coached me up until I came to Tinora, basically. So,
Well, we're not going to graduate her just yet, but how big would it be to win not only in your final home game, but also make that deep tournament run that you've been talking about?
that'd be amazing, especially as a senior. It'd be nice to go for that far of a run on it.
Nothing left to do but tip this one off. Thanks
Yep.
for joining us. Good luck you, not just tonight, but the rest of the way.
Thank you.
Eowyn Blanchard is our player profile. Don't you go anywhere. We're back with more of the Estill Chevrolet Cadillac pregame show right after this. You're watching DCTV Sports. Back at the Emerald, Brent Balbinot alongside Scoop Miller as we are roughly 8 minutes away from tip-off as Tinora, 11-9 overall, 4-2 in the GMC, taking on Hicksville, 6-15, 1-5 respectively. It is the last regular season game before both teams get set for the playoffs, which will begin next week. Let's go ahead and take a look at our keys to the game, brought to you by Northwest State Community College. Your key to great career opportunities begins with a great education at Northwest State. Visit northweststate.edu or call 419-267-1320 today. Well, let's go ahead and start with the visitors. The Hicksville Aces. Scoop, what do they need to do to walk you out of here with the upset?
Well, it's going to start with they have to handle pressure. Tinora is really going to try to overplay, try to extend their defense a little bit here tonight. And the fact that McKenna Baird, the primary ball handler for the Aces, is home sick tonight. Boy, that's going to wreak havoc here for Hicksville. That's going to be a tough person to replace. We wish McKenna well here. Hopefully she's back in time for tournament. But I think another key tonight for the Aces is going to be rebounding. They're going to be undersized here tonight. They're going to have to do an excellent job being very physical in the paint. They're going to have to find a way to win that second chance points battle. I think another key tonight for Hicksville is going to be some transition defense because, let's face it, they only have 7 in uniform here tonight, Hicksville. I look for Tinora to really push the ball up the floor and try to exploit that a little bit here this evening.
On the flip side for the Rams, again at 11-9 overall, 4-2. Look, you see it right there. They shot under 50% from the charity stripe Tuesday night. If they had even half of their free throws, they would be on a 4-game win streak. But free throws aren't always free. There's a cost, especially if you miss them.
Yeah, you're right, and it really showed in that 4-point loss to Kalida. But you think about it, Brento, on the season, Tinora just 4-7 in single-digit games. They've had a lot of games kind of slip through their fingertips, but you look at the free throw shooting, not much above 50% as a team on the season. So that's a reason for a lot of those tight losses. And the other key, as you see there, hold your breath when you hiccup.
When you hiccup. Again, all you got to do is go back to Tuesday night. They had a 7-point halftime lead, but as Coach Thiel talked about it, there have been stretches, and they haven't been long, but 2 minutes in a basketball game can be an eternity. When you see that opposing team make a run, you have to respond. You can't let one mistake turn into two into three.
Well, you're exactly right. We saw that in the holiday tournament at Defiance High School, where they had a nice lead against an Archbold team.
Yep.
In fact, that lead was double digits, but yet some costly mistakes. The collar got a little bit tighter there. They ended up losing that one to the Blue Streaks by 4 points. And Archbold's a team at 16-5, so Tinora has to feel that, man, we're every bit as good as Archbold, but yet here we are just 11-9. So they certainly want to right the ship, get some momentum heading into the tournament.
Hold your breath when you hiccup. Basketball, a game of runs. Those are your keys to the game, brought to you by Northwest State Community College. Your key to great career opportunities begins with a great education at Northwest State. Visit northweststate.edu or call 419-267-1320 today. Back with more of the Estill Chevrolet Cadillac pregame show. We'll have our starting lineups right after this. You're watching DCTV Sports.
Proudly serving the area with the highest quality contracting services for nearly 100 years. Baker Schindler Company of Defiance and Paulding. 419-782-5080. Online at baker-schindler.com. Simplify your everyday banking with convenient account options and digital banking features that fit your unique lifestyle. Premier Bank, everyday banking solutions designed for you. Explore solutions today at yourpremierbank.com.
Back at the Emerald, the Estill Chevrolet Cadillac pregame show continues. Brent Balbinot alongside Scoop Miller. DCTV Sports, pleased that you could join us tonight as we've got the GMC regular season finale as the Rams hosting the Aces of Hicksville. Time now for your Baker Schindler Company starting lineups. Proudly serving the area with the highest quality contracting services for nearly 100 years. Baker Schindler Company of Defiance and Paulding, baker-schindler.com. Let's go ahead and take a look at somewhat of a makeshift starting lineup for the visiting Hicksville Aces. 6-15 overall, 1-5 in conference play. And as Scoop mentioned, their second leading scorer, McKenna Baird, home tonight under the weather. We don't know if she's watching or not, but McKenna, if you are, best wishes to you. Get healthy soon because they are going to need you next week against Ayersville to open up sectional play. But right now, you play who you've got. If you're Coach Christine Stemmen, and here are our starting five. Kennedy Adams. Again, Kennedy Adams standing in at 5'5", junior point guard, averaging 10 points and nearly 5 rebounds per ball game. At the off guard, in place of McKenna Baird, it is going to be McKenna Rice. McKenna Rice, a 5'5" junior, standing in. We don't have stats on her. At the swing, it will be Ashlyn Steery. Steery standing in at 5'6" and a senior. She averages 2 points, 2 boards per contest. Joycelyn Baldwin will help lead up the front court. Baldwin, again, standing in at 5'8", just a freshman, being told that she's got a little spice to her, the team joker, so to speak. But sometimes when you're a freshman, you don't always know any better, right? Just go out and you don't have any nerves. You're just playing for the fun of it. Again, she has 6.5 points and 4 boards per contest to her average. And then in the middle, another freshman. It's Devaney, is that correct?
Correct.
Devaney Hall, a 5'11" freshman, and how much better is she going to be over the course of the next 4 years? 12.5 points, 6 rebounds per contest, and she is going to be one that Tinora is going to have in their crosshairs on the defensive side.
Well, they better, because she has such a high upside. She's had a tremendous freshman season. You mentioned the the point numbers, rebound, which leads the Aces. She also leads the Aces in field goal percentage at 47%. She's an 83% foul shooter. She also leads the Aces in block shots, so she gets it done at both ends. She certainly will be on the radar of the Rams all evening long.
On the flip side, the starters for head coach Andrew Thiel and the Rams, 11-9 overall, 4-2 in conference play. The usual suspects. Julia Durfee will get the starting nod at point. Durfee, a 5'11 senior. She's going to continue her ball-playing career at Bluffton University. She averages just an eyelash under 8 points and is also the team's leading rebounder as the point guard at nearly 6 per ball game. At the off guard, Supernova Oakley. I asked Coach Thiel, do you know what a supernova is? And he goes, no, but I'm guessing Nova does. We'll see if she's as hot as a supernova tonight. She is the team's leading scorer at nearly 13 points per game. She pulls down 3.5 boards and 2 assists per contest. At the swing guard, it will be our player profile, Eowyn Blanchard. Blanchard, a 5'6 senior, the team's second leading scorer at nearly 11 points. She rips down 4 rebounds per contest. Your front court as follows: Christina Meyer. Meyer averaging nearly 4 points and 4 rebounds per game. 5'8". They list her as a guard, but she's basically a small forward. We anticipate that there was a question mark over Tatum Krebs. Krebs has been nursing an injury, coming back from it, and I was told to go ahead and put her down. But as I'm looking to see who is got the, well, everybody's ditched their warm-ups. We believe it's going to be Tatum Krebs. Krebs, of course, standing in at a very imposing 6'2". She's a standout volleyball player. She's averaging 4 points and nearly 5 rebounds per contest. And I'm looking down there to see Tatum Krebs getting last-minute instructions from Coach Thiel, and I believe she will be the starter. So those are your starting lineups, brought to you by Baker Schindler Company. Proudly serving the area with the highest quality contracting services for nearly 100 years. Baker Schindler Company of Defiance and Paulding, baker-schindler.com. Now you see the Rams finishing their warm-ups and lining up at their end of the court. Hicksville staying on their bench. It is a small but mighty group, barely 7 players to go to battle against the Rams here this evening. As the colors being unfurled, we want to let you know that the national anthem is brought to you by the Defiance County Veterans Office, proudly serving veterans and their families, connecting them with the resources available to them. If you would like to learn more about or request information on what you might be eligible for, log on to defiance-county.com/veterans office. That's defiance-county.com/veterans office, or give their office a call at 419-782-6861. Very light crowd here this evening. Tinora being represented fairly well. The home side roughly about 50% full. And Hicksville, how long of a drive is it from here to Hicksville?
It's probably about 25 minutes.
Okay.
But a little icy conditions tonight, I think,
Correct.
kept a lot of them at home.
Those that are here most likely going to be very vocal. But what we're going to do is take a step out here for the playing of our national anthem. And the Star-Spangled Banner in the books. Our thanks going out to the Defiance County Veterans Office. Again, learn more if you are a veteran or a family member of a veteran on what resources might be available to you. Check them out online at www.defiance-county.com/veterans office, or call their office directly at 419-782-6861. 6'8", 6'1". Well, we were joking a little bit with Hicksville head coach Christine Stemmen, ironically, in her first year as the varsity coach. And I simply said, you're down to your best players. You come in with just one win in conference play, and you're on the road. I said, you got them right where you want them. You just roll the dice here. You're playing with house money. And she admitted, she goes, I want them to take the court with a chip on their shoulder, us against the world this evening.
Yeah, I like that mentality. You know, she's done a nice job in her first season. We mentioned just 3-20 a year ago, but she has this program in the right direction. The fact they have 2 freshmen in the starting lineup tonight who have been fixtures for the Aces all season. And we mentioned McKenna Baird, a sophomore who's home ill. She's typically a star as well. So this is a very young Hicksville team. You know, they take it serious. They've made great strides this year. They'd love no better than to knock off the Rams here in Jewel here tonight.
And taking a look at the starters, and I believe Coach is, yep, there we go. The non-starters being introduced. And now the lights are down. Then Christina Meyer being introduced. She's been one of those under-the-radar players, but certainly the type that you want on your roster.
Yeah, I guarantee it. She's a tough guard. She's a girl that really, I think, adds another dimension to this team and has certainly a high upside as a junior. Also another big part of that volleyball team that went 27-1 and only lost 10 sets all year, heading to that state championship game against Marion Pleasant.
And they're the last of the seniors being introduced. Durfee, Oakley, obviously Blanchard. Preps will move on. The only question is where. She'll be playing volleyball at the next level. Durfee is going to continue her basketball career at Bluffton. Then the rest will say, hopefully we made a deep run in the playoffs the last year of our high school careers. As in the center circle. And it is going to be Ralph Green tossing the ball up for the officials. Our officiating crew tonight, and we got a good one out of Toledo. Michael Bird Jr., John Boyd, and Ralph Green.
Yeah, this is the great crew. This crew received a lot of votes to officiate tournaments when I was back in the coaching ranks. And here Tinora controls a tip-off. Boy, they go downhill right away. A fantastic start.
Julia Durfee. I think she has just been a double-digit score waiting to happen all season long. We've seen her explode in some games, and then there are others where we're like, hey, 22, where have you been? She is definitely a character, and she's releasing here. So one and done. And on the drive, Meyer. Boy, that was a tough shot, and she gets the feathery touch off the square.
Big-time shooter's touch that time by Christina Meyer, and right away, Tinora. You can see they've got a chip on their shoulder, attacking the rim early and often. And here's Krebs pulling down a rebound here for the Rams.
Joycelyn Baldwin got a good look at it, but again, all 6'2" of Krebs is just a little intimidating. And how about Durfee spotting up for 3? Around the world, it kicks out.
A nice rebound by Devaney Moll, the freshman for Hicksville. That's a name you're going to hear quite often here this evening.
And for the next 4 years. As we've got a whistle off the ball. This is going to be number 12, Eowyn Blanchard, picking up her first. Eowyn, our player profile tonight. Really coming out of her shell from last season to this year. Skip pass. Baldwin. Now Adams releases the basketball. Look at this, their post launching up a big 3. Mull sees this go in and out. And how about a point guard dropping down and picking up the rebound? Nice job by Durfee.
You love it when your guards will hit the glass, and Durfee's certainly one that will do that. Here's a good take by Oakley. Rims out. Hicksville will bring it up, trailing 4-0 here, looking for their first point.
Tinora being very aggressive, though, especially off the drive. Meyer coming up and getting in the grill of Adams. Adams will run baseline quite a bit. They try and get her into the corner, and just like that on the wing, catch and shoot. Doesn't catch anything. Ball tapped around, and Durfee with her second straight board.
Well, the Rams doing a great job on the glass right now at both ends.
Blanchard going in strong, and take your pick. Or do we have a charge? What do we got?
I think that's going to be on the shot, so that'll send
it's going against Steery.
Blanchard to the charity stripe to shoot 2. But, Brent, what's been impressive here about the start for Tinora, and you mentioned it, the aggressiveness.
Yes.
They've done it each and every possession. They've done it at both ends, but offensively, they are attacking the rim. They're playing downhill, and when they do this, they're at tough guard because they do have a very solid starting 5. And there you see Blanchard connect.
On both. How about that?
Boy, that's a good omen there for the Rams.
Coming out in full court pressure, leading 6-0. They have corralled and stepping on the end line or the sideline, Kennedy Adams. You could see that coming. Slow motion from where we were standing, and nobody helped her out. Nobody called it out, and that'll be a turnover.
That's great aggressive defense by the Rams. They kept forcing Adams to that sideline. Eventually the ball landed on it. First turnover of the game for either team.
And there's a turnover for the Rams. Coming down at the other end, Baldwin got a little deep, dishes it off. Kennedy was a little low, and it bounced off the bottom of the backboard, but Aces managed to get it. Still short, and they just don't have a matchup for Tatum Krebs.
All right, now Tinora again dominating the glass. They've picked up every defensive rebound to be had. Here's a heat check from my goodness.
Eowyn Blanchard draining the Premier Bank 3, and that's going to force a timeout from Coach Stemmen. I believe, is this a 30-second variety? Nope, it's a full, so we'll break with them. A Mark Motes Ford timeout located on County Road 424 in Defiance, online at markmotesford.com. We'll take a quick timeout. Back with more from the Emerald. You're watching DCTV Sports. Back at the Emerald, and there you get a good look at our triple cam. 5:19 left to go in the first quarter. It's a 9-0 run for the Rams to start the ball game. And with the buzzer sounding, it looks like Tinora will come out in full court pressure again. Nobody on the ball, flirting with it, and they just do get it inbounds to Adams. Have they posted Mull up yet tonight? She's worked primarily from the perimeter. And she drives and is tied up, and the arrow looking over, it stays with Hicksville.
Well, she certainly has the ability to post up, but she's also a 30% shooter from beyond the arc, so certainly that's part of her repertoire, looking to get 3 at a time. Here she gets it on the low block, trying to make a move against Krebs.
First time Krebs swats, and that's just brute strength by Devaney Mull.
Yeah, and Tinora, I thought, defended that really well, but credit to freshman Mull. She just made a heady play there in traffic, but she does have a great touch, a big reason why she's scoring nearly 13 points a game on the season.
Another turnover for Tinora. How many does that make for them now? Just 2? Coming out in a full court trap. Aces go underneath it. Mull, that's a great secondary break, but that's even better defensive hustle by Christina Meyer.
Yeah, tremendous transition defense, something the Rams really do well. The fact they do have some speed, they've got some athletes out there.
They were looking for Mull, and Meyer gets her hand on this one. Another turnover, give her another steal. Up by 7. Durfee slows it down in between the rings. And a steady diet of zone tonight from Hicksville. Number 1, low on numbers, but number 2, that's their bread and butter, and they like this 1-3-1. Durfee on the drive. Nobody picks her up, and she misses the bunny. It looked like she thought there was going to be defensive rotation there, Scoop, and it looked like she rushed the shot. No need to. She had a clear path.
Well, that time they had a breakdown. Abby Sanders was locked in on Nova Oakley, not realizing they were 1-3-1, so the baseline help was not anywhere to be had.
Blanchard, she's fouled on a 3 attempt, and I think Adams got the worst piece of that. Appears to be okay, shot in the eye, but this is going to be 3 for the senior sharpshooter.
Yeah, that's a breakdown that time by Hicksville. You do not want to foul a three-point shooter.
Nope.
And now 3 free throws coming up for Blanchard.
2 for 2 tonight. 2 for 3 tonight. She shoots 54% on the season. Scoop, if there is one chink in the armor for Tinora, the charity stripe is it. As she hits her second, Tinora does not have a single player shooting over 60% from the free throw line.
Yeah, and that's going to at some point come to bite you. Well, it already has. The fact they've lost 7 games by 7 points or less. But there you see Blanchard connect on 2 out of 3.
Yep. And coming out in that press again, Baldwin on the drive, and that's a pretty jumper off the square. She knew that she couldn't take it any deeper against Krebs, and that's just a tough shot.
Yeah, that's a tremendous move, and think she's only a freshman. Very aggressive mindset.
Oakley open for 3, left wing, couldn't find it. Meyer crashes. Heads up play as she knocks it out of bounds off Hicksville. Well, against this 1-3-1, 2 places that you want the ball. And there's one open on the wing, and Oakley with a premier bank 3. Check that was Blanchard.
That was Blanchard, and again, no hesitation whatsoever in the Rams. I love the aggressive mindset here in offense. That time a set out of bounds. Once she got her hands on that basketball, boy, that release was nice and quick and through and true. And now the lead swells back to 10 points.
And here comes that press again. Bodies flying at half court. Oh, getting away with an extra half step. Baldwin spots up and drains a 15-footer on the wing.
Good-looking secondary break that time by the Aces as Baldwin did a nice job spotting up. They go inside out.
Oh, nice movement without the basketball, and Blanchard misses the bunny. Oh, goodness. Emma Bailey thought I had an assist. Staying back defensively. Into the low blocks. Ball deflected. Mull will drive and can't get the basket, but does draw the contact, and I believe Bailey might be the guilty party here. Nope, it's going to be number 12, and that's going to be Blanchard.
That's a tremendous play by the freshman, Devaney Mull. I loved how she's able to get in triple threat, had that little head and shoulders fake, drew the defense, a little bit over-aggressive on the closeout. She made a strong dribble move to the paint, and now she'll head to the charity stripe to shoot a pair, trying to trim into that 8-point deficit. First one up and in. Mull, an 83% free throw shooter. She leads the Aces. In fact, she leads the Aces in most offensive categories. Right now, Hicksville up a touchdown, 14.
Boy, good-looking stroke.
For Tinora, and now Tinora, 6-point lead with the basketball as we hit the 3-minute mark this opening quarter.
Seems like the last 3 minutes has really slowed down in this ball game as Oakley, nice drive, finally in the books at the 2:54 mark.
And right now, too easy. Too many points in the paint already here for Tinora. But again, that aggressive mindset paying off.
Boy, Mull catch and shoot. That ball came right down into the face of Meyer, but she manages to secure it. And Durfee at 5'11" gives basically Tinora something that a lot of teams don't have, and that's a very tall point guard. As top of the key, Oakley for 3. Long rebound kicks out to the far corner, and that was one thing that Coach Theo really stressed at practice earlier this week. Follow your shot. He felt that they weren't doing enough of that. Mull, middle of the paint, muscles up against Krebs. Can't get the friendly roll, and look at Oakley come down with a strong board.
Tinora continues to own the glass. Here's a great-looking break, and Mull with the rejection at the other end.
I stand corrected. That was Durfee, 22, not 23, that had the board. Julia, peace and love. I'm not going to shortchange you a rebound. Again, at 5'11", Scoop, though, she does not project, and by her own admission, the coaching staff at Bluffton is probably going to make her a stretch 4. Just like that. Corner 3. We see you, 22. Absolutely.
Great set out of bounds, and Durfee another bomb. This one from the corner, and a Premier Bank 3.
And a double-digit lead now. It's amazing how that three-point stripe is a great equalizer. Long shot, kicks out. Meyer is just cleaning up underneath tonight.
Right now, Tinora sending all 5 to the defensive glass. And
great ball movement. Inside, outside. And Nova Oakley with another Premier Bank 3.
That's great ball movement. Again, no hesitation whatsoever. I like how they're really eliminating the dribbles, and they're just catching and shooting in rhythm.
Mull kicks it back out. That's good ball movement. Good look at a three, and Baldwin is there. Johnny on the spot, and it looks like Durfee the guilty party for the Rams.
Now, one of the few times we've seen in this opening quarter that Tinora missed a checkout, and credit to freshman, she was able to take advantage, get to that backside.
Baldwin has 4 of her team's 8 points. Off the mark on her first opportunity. She is a 65% free throw shooter. But boy, with a thin bench, I'm already looking at a lot of Aces players, Scoop, breathing very heavy, hands on knees. You got to figure that's going to play a huge factor as this game wears on.
Well, credit to Nor for that. I love the game plan by Andrew Thiel in his 3rd season for the Rams. The fact that he knows that Hicksville has a short bench. They've been ultra aggressive. They've been trying to get transition looks. They've wasted a little time on offense, attacking the rim. And you're right, there's a lot of red faces on the Aces down there tonight.
Adams had the ball, was knocked out of bounds as they find Mull in the low blocks, and Krebs with quick hands. And look at this, Mull will step back for 3! A Premier Bank 3 for Devaney Mull.
Well, that's something you can't give her. I've seen her do that so many times this season. She's in her comfort zone with that step back 3, and that time string music by the freshman.
Krebs gets the friendly roll from the 7-footer in the middle of the paint. And their 6'2 center now in the books.
Nice job by Krebs. That's a good look. Here's Mull at the other end trying to go back to back. This one rims out.
So we've got McKenna Rice with the rebound. And look at this. Mull, she's not shy, but Durfee tracks this one down. Durfee quickly into the front court. Nice spin move. Oakley feeling it, top of the key, but it goes begging off the right side. Rebound ripped down by Amelia Coy, and now I was about to say, do they want to milk the clock? That was a bit of a rush shot. Again, as Bailey turned, I think she thought there was going to be a defender there, and there wasn't. As a quick 3 at the other end, nothing doing. Krebs taps it right to Rice. Little pinball action. Look at this. Inside out and right at the buzzer. The freshman Mull with another Premier Bank 3-pointer, and the Aces just won't quite go away. 8 minutes in the books. We're going to take a quick timeout. Second quarter when we come back after this Mark Motes Ford timeout. Rams up by 9. Make that 11. I thought that was a 3. We'll double check on the score when we come back. You're watching DCTV Sports. There you take a look at both teams' huddles and our scoreboards. The second 8 minutes up on the clock. Tinora, final home game, final game of the regular season here at the Emerald. They will be hosting next Saturday in what will be the second round of the sectionals. They're drawing a first round bye as they're the number 3 seed coming out of their bracket. But right now they're getting pushed by 6 and 15 Hicksville as the freshman Devaney Mull draining a 3. They did adjust it on the scoreboard to keep it at a 10-point game. And right now, both coaches with their instructions to their teams as we get set for the start of the second quarter.
And how about that first quarter by Devaney Mull, the freshman
Tremendous.
for Hicksville? 10 of the 14 Aces points. The other 4 points came from another freshman in Jocelyn Baldwin.
Yep. Meyer being pushed off the low blocks. Oakley. Durfee. Oh, nice feed down low. Nice square. And Tatum Krebs. Again, when you take a look at her, and she's just so strong, but she gets her feet in proper position. And I was talking with the coaching staff earlier tonight about that. When she squares, when she's got her footwork down, she's as nimble as the guards.
Well, that's the first thing I noticed on that last move. Her footwork was just spot on. Excellent job that time. She did everything right, kept the ball upstairs. Nifty footwork made that awfully easy.
Well, how often do you hear coaches talk about it with posts? Do your work early. And that's exactly what we're talking about as she's here. Spots up, goes up strong. That shot was altered by Mull, but it's going to be out of bounds off of Hicksville. In particular, Ashlyn Steery.
Credit Christina Meyer. That time Meyer came over the top there, was able to deflect that basketball off one of the aces.
Krebs again in the low blocks. Good kick out. Meyer couldn't quite handle it. Far corner, that's going to be a three. And how did that clear the rim? Wow, not much hardship at all for Amelia Coy, but it gets down for another Premier Bank three-pointer.
Well, again, I love the mindset. Here's a girl that's scoring less than a point a game, but no hesitation whatsoever. They go inside out. She spots up from beyond that arc. And right
again,
now it's raining threes here at the Emerald.
Hicksville getting a little ahead of themselves, throwing it away. Another turnover. What do you have right now on the game?
That's the fourth there for Hicksville tonight. And meanwhile, Tenora's done a really nice job trying to clean things up. As aggressive as the Rams have played, you kind of expect more turnovers, but they've done a nice job of really securing the basketball here tonight.
Right now up by 15. Krebs, nice give and go. Durfee drives hard. That's a pretty looking finish. So smooth.
Great ball movement again by the Rams. Great job of moving without the basketball as well.
She's got 7, and again, I want to get your take on this because when I had a chance to talk with her last week, by her own admission, she doesn't expect to be a guard. As a nice speed down low, and Mull, talk about good footwork and body control, picks up the basket.
Well, she's another one does a great job of moving without the basketball. That time she saw a seam there, she took it.
Oakley muscles up and draws the contact. Now, we're talking about stamina and endurance with a short bench, but if Tinora keeps up this aggressiveness, Scoop, we might be talking foul trouble in the second half for a Hicksville team that barely has 7 players to be able to suit up tonight.
Yeah, no question about it. You know, when you play downhill, you put so much stress and strain on that opposing defense, and Tenora's done that from the get-go. A big reason why they've scored 31 points here, and we're not even 10 minutes in, so the Rams have done an excellent job. This team's got a high upside, especially when they play aggressive. But there they go, 0 for 2.
Oakley is the best free throw shooter on this roster, too, at 57, nearly 58%. Points left off the board. Krebs rotates over, give her a block. Johnny on the spot. Now Oakley wants to run. Nova crosses over from the right to the left. Supernova! Wow. Right there, though, proof, Scoop, she's not just a shooter, she's a scorer.
Tremendous play there by Supernova, as you said. The fact that she goes coast to coast that time. But, again, it's that aggressive mindset. She right away took the ball off to the races when no one picked her up. She just kept going downhill. Again, that's great offense. And 33 points now for Tinora, just a little over 10 minutes into this one.
Well, great defense there, too, as Meyer forced the dribble off the sideline for another turnover. So Tinora getting the ball right back, looking to add to a 33-16 lead.
Well, that's one thing the Rams continue to do is play defense, and defense travels in tournament time. So you have to get it done defensively if you want to make any type of run.
Durfee. Right wing, Oakley. Meyer with a nice cut without the basketball. She muscled into Hall. Fortunately for the Rams, it's out of bounds off of Hicksville. But, again, Hall, for a freshman, seems to know where to be one step ahead of everybody else. Great IQ.
Yeah, she understands the game really well. You can tell she's played a lot of basketball, you know, not just through the ranks, but in the offseason. And, wow, she is – putting it on tonight.
Oakley splits the nylon on a great feed from Spangler. Another Premier Bank 3, and they are raining down from beyond the arc right now for Tinora.
And Hicksville scratching your head, you know, the fact that they attacked the rim so early that's forced them to pack it in. But what that's done is opened up that perimeter shooting, and Tinora is really hitting their mark tonight.
Baldwin on the drive. Good aggressiveness, but she misses everything. It's out of bounds, and I believe boy, look at the ball movement here. Oh, what a feed down low to Meyer. And Mull sends it right back, and yet Meyer goes at her again. Still a loose ball. Durfee wanted it, and I believe it's kicked out of bounds off of Hicksville. Even when they get the stop, the Aces have got to be thinking, what do we have to do?
But Tinora is really doing a great job crashing the offensive glass, trying to extend possessions on the few times where they're not knocking down their shots. They've been warm here this evening, to say the least. But, wow, we're seeing an offensive performance here tonight, 36 points. We're not to the midway point of quarter 2.
Rice back in, as is Addie Sanders for Hicksville. Durfee has picked up her dribble in the corner. Nice job by Oakley. Whoa, I think that pass was meant for somebody else, but look what I found. Heads up play by Madison Spangler as she now is in the books.
Great job by the sophomore. She was able to bury her girl inside. Did a great job with the seal there. Good looking entry pass, good finish.
22-point lead, just under the halfway point here of the second quarter. Spangler, nice job to affect the shot on Mull. And Mull looks like her legs might be getting just a little bit wobbly.
What's that Tinora defense? They've only allowed 2 Hicksville points here in the opening 4.5 minutes of quarter 2.
Well, look at that Aces defense, though, as they converge. 3 red jerseys onto Meyer, and they get the turnover. Slowing it down right now, Rice. Meyer will give Mull an arm's length. Now comes up to hand checker. Nice deflection by Oakley and right into the hands of Spangler. It's just like a well-oiled machine right now.
Well, they're so connected at the defensive end, and turnovers are starting to mount here for Hicksville.
Oh, great ball reversal. Oakley, does she have another in her? Durfee, nice job to drop down. She wanted to shoot, but they'll kick it back out. Oakley on the drive. Aggressive, out of bounds, and it looks like this one last touch by Bailey.
Well, a couple good looks that time in the half court by the Rams. The first one at 3, the second one a good drive to the rack. Great job by the Aces being physical inside.
Tinora back defensively. Nice penetration, but that pass through the wickets, and Meyer has just been everywhere tonight. Very aggressive. Spangler with the pump fake on the drive. Left it a bit short. Did she follow her shot? Yes, she did. A wraparound pass to nobody, though. Another turnover.
Yeah, I think she was better advised just to take that up strong. They had pretty good numbers down low in the paint.
Yeah. Oh, good overplay, jumping the passing lanes. Spangler knocks it out of bounds.
Yeah, great read that time by Madison. Tried to jump that passing route, was able to get another deflection. We've seen so many by the Rams here tonight.
Nice feed into the low blocks, and Meyer got a piece of it. Another deflection by Durfee. Boy, lots of contact. Coach Thiel wanted to charge, nothing doing, and that's physical play, as was that McKenna Rice.
That was Kennedy Adams.
Kennedy Adams, excuse
me.
me.
Move the rack. She's a 10-point scorer per game, but I think the Rams done a great job on her tonight. She had to earn those 2 right there.
Durfee cut off baseline. Oh, nifty feed down low. That ball might have been partially blocked. It came off of Bailey's fingertips, a little odd. And the rebound off the loose ball for Hicksville. Durfee, nice job to get back. So was Meyer. Not a lot of fast break opportunities for the Aces tonight, Scoop.
No, I think the transition defense by Tinora has been really good, and a lot of that transition defense is just pure heart and hustle. We've seen that in every phase of the game tonight for Tinora. So you can see, boy, they are kind of playing that chip on their shoulder, that stinging from that loss to Kalida in their last outing, but when they're trying to make amends here tonight.
Mull lost it, but it bounces right to Steary. Again, look at Meyer just everywhere. Quick hands, though, at the other end, or not really the other end, about 2 feet away by Steary, and now we got a whistle. Bailey will pick up her first. Both teams really sticking their noses into things defensively here this evening. It's a 20-point Rams lead. Scoring has cooled a bit, probably from about the 4-minute mark under. Wide open, 3 on the way. Nothing doing. This will bounce over the backboard.
Well, that's a good look, one that Hicksville is more than happy to take with Kennedy Adams, a very solid shooter, over 32% from beyond the arc on the season. That one just a little bit too much air underneath it, takes a hard bounce off the heel of the rim.
Creps back in. Durfee thought about attacking. This 1-3-1 is designed to take away the free throw line extended. Not just the shot, but the driving lanes. So Oakley steps back, but is a little bit short. And Mull, that's what at Toledo they call a dagger. You can't get it, but you tap it to a teammate.
That's just a smart play. You know, she understands the game so well.
3 from the weak side, nothing doing. Boy, you're looking at the frustration. I believe that was Baldwin, wasn't it, number 23, and she's thinking, I had the look, but it's what happens when the defense speeds you up. Everything's just a little bit off. And with 39 seconds left to go, we've had a lot of activity, but not a lot of accomplishment for either teams. We'll see if Tinora wants to take the air out of the ball. Krebs says, no, I'd rather shoot. There's where I thought if she would have followed, she probably had a rebound and a garbage putback. Instead, with 25 seconds, does Hicksville want to slow it down? We just got our answer with a quick three. Long board kicks out. There's following your shot. Adams taps it out. 13 to shoot. Meyer overplaying, and I thought that ball might have been deflected, but instead it's out of bounds, and with 9.6 seconds left, we'll see what Tinora has in store. They'll have to hustle. Bailey gives up her dribble. Meyer, 4 seconds. Heads up play to go. She's going to muscle one up, nothing doing. And we have come to the end of a somewhat frenetic second quarter of play, but it sees Tinora spread a 10-point lead at the end of the first to a 20-point lead at the end of the second. As both teams head to their respective locker rooms at the half, Rams 38, Aces 18. We'll take a Mark Moats Ford timeout. Back with your Midwest Community Federal Credit Union halftime show. You're watching DCTV Sports.
For the past 70 years, Midwest Community Federal Credit Union has been your financial partner, helping you achieve your dreams and secure your future. Midwest Community Federal Credit Union, with locations in Defiance, Bryan, and Napoleon. Find out more at midwestcommunity.org. Visit Mark Moats Ford and check out some of the best new Ford models. Mark Moats Ford has been serving the Defiance community since 1916. Visit them today, County Road 424 in Defiance, and online at markmoatsford.com.
Discover affordable transfer opportunities at Northwest State.
Start here and save thousands on tuition.
Our advising team will help you get your credits transferred.
So don't wait another minute. Get started today.
Proudly serving the area with the highest quality contracting services for nearly 100 years. Baker Schindler Company of Defiance and Paulding. 419-782-5080. Online at baker-schindler.com. Simplify your everyday banking with convenient account options and digital banking features that fit your unique lifestyle. Premier Bank, everyday banking solutions designed for you. Explore solutions today at yourpremierbank.com.
Back at the Emerald, we are at the intermission, both clubs in their respective locker rooms. It's time for the Midwest Community Federal Credit Union halftime show. Midwest Community Federal Credit Union, celebrating 70 years of helping you achieve your dreams and securing your future. Visit them in Defiance, Bryan, or Napoleon. Also check them out online at midwestcommunity.org. Brent Balbinot alongside Scoop Miller. It is the regular season finale, the GMC. The Rams trying to pick up win number 12. More importantly, go 5-2. In the Green Meadows Conference. The Aces at 6-15, 1-5, down to just 7 varsity players coming into tonight. And it has shown not just bench depth, but also just plain aggressiveness and tempo as the Rams take a 20-point lead into the locker room, 38-18. Let's go ahead and run down your unofficial scoring totals, but I think we're accurate here. Leading all players, how about the freshman center for the Aces, Devaney Mall? She has 12 points. However, 10 of those came in the first quarter, as she has spent a lot of energy, not just at the offensive but the defensive end. And give Tenora's defense credit, too. They've locked in on her. So, again, all but 2 of those coming in the first 8 minutes. Rounding out the scoring for Hicksville, everything drops off considerably after that. Joycelyn Baldwin with a couple of baskets in the first quarter. She's got 4. And Kennedy Adams, the team's second leading scorer. Adams, again, the 5'5 junior, averaging 10 points per game, has just 2. On the flip side, tremendous balance for Tinora. All 5 starters in the scoring column and 5 bench points as well, as Nova Oakley, the senior. Oakley averages 13 a game. She's almost there with 10. 7 points for Julia Durpee, the senior point guard. She averages 8, so she's only a point off of her average. Then after that, 4 points for Tatum Krebs, 2 for Christina Meyer, who has played tremendous defense tonight. Also 7 points for Eowyn Blanchard. She hit 4 of 5 free throws early in the first quarter to really set the tone, as the Rams jumped out to an early 9-0 lead. And then Madison Spangler with 2 off the bench, and Amelia Coy with a three-pointer that somehow cleared the iron on a shot that looked like it had virtually no arch. It was almost a 90-degree angle, but they don't give you style points. They don't ask you how, they just ask you how many. 5 bench points for Tinora. It all leads up to a 38-18 lead. Scary.
Yeah, that's been a great team effort for Tinora. You know, they came to play. That's so important. They set the tone early. First time they had the ball, no hesitation. They went downhill, and then they did it at the other end. They were very aggressive defensively. They forced 11 Hicksville turnovers that first half. And they really were able to get out and transition. They had a lot of fast break points as well.
What do you have for turnovers for both teams?
Well, for Tinora, they turned it over 6 times in that first half. Their transition defense kind of minimized those turnovers. I didn't think the Aces, only one time the Aces were able to come down, convert off a turnover. Meanwhile, as we just mentioned, Hicksville turned over 11 times.
Wow.
And those led to a lot of points for that Tinora Rams offense here tonight.
So here's my question for you. Right now, neither team in serious foul trouble, but with that thin bench, basically only 7 players for Hicksville, do fouls play a role? Does possibly fatigue play a role? We saw a lot of flushed faces, a lot of hands on the knees trying to catch your breath. By no fault of their own, they just don't have the depth tonight. Is this a situation where Tinora, late in the third, certainly in the fourth, can use the old phrase, wear them out, foul them out?
Absolutely, and that's the way you practice, the way you do. That's why you're intense in practice. That's always a message from day one that we want our conditioning to win us ball games. So we want to continue to wear teams. I think that's going to be really magnified here tonight, the fact that Hicksville is dealing with some injuries, some illness. They've only got 7 in uniform here tonight. I think we saw signs of that in that second quarter. You talked about Devaney Mole getting 10 first quarter points. She never left the floor that entire half, but again, she was kind of dragging there, and it's because she's playing hard at both ends, but she's just unable to get a break there. I thought Tenora's game plan was flawless there, trying to make it a high-tempo game, trying to wear into this Aces team, which they did so well in that second quarter.
Now it's led to the tune of a 38-18 lead. What we're going to do is take a 2-minute break, 2-minute timeout, put the wrap on our Midwest Community Federal Credit Union halftime show. Both teams out for a quick shoot-around. Don't go anywhere. Second half when we return, you're watching DCTV Sports.
Estill Chevrolet Cadillac is this area's new and used car headquarters, earning your trust one satisfied customer at a time. Estill Chevrolet Cadillac, North Clinton Street in Defiance, and online at drivebobestill.com. For the past 70 years, Midwest Community Federal Credit Union has been your financial partner, helping you achieve your dreams and secure your future. Midwest Community Federal Credit Union, with locations in Defiance, Bryan, and Napoleon. Find out more at midwestcommunity.org. Visit Mark Motes Ford and check out some of the best new Ford models. Mark Motes Ford has been serving the Defiance community since 1916. Visit them today, County Road 424 in Defiance, and online at markmotesford.com.
Discover affordable transfer opportunities at Northwest State.
Start here and save thousands on tuition.
Our advising team will help you get your credits transferred.
So don't wait another minute. Get started today.
Proudly serving the area with the highest quality contracting services for nearly 100 years. Baker Schindler Company of Defiance and Paulding, 419-782-5080. Online at baker-schindler.com.
Putting the finishing touches on the Midwest Community Federal Credit Union halftime show, we welcome you back to the Emerald Tinora High School Gymnasium. Brent Balbinot alongside Scoop Miller. Midwest Community Federal Credit Union celebrating 70 years helping you achieve your dreams and securing your future. Visit them in Defiance, Bryan, or Napoleon, and as always online at midwestcommunity.org. Final 10 seconds of the half ticking away. Host Rams leading the visiting Aces 38-18. All right, let's start with Coach Christine Stemmen. There's no such thing as a 20-point basket, but what are you telling your team? What's your approach, and what do you want to see execution-wise to open up the second half?
Well, I think the focus has to be on protecting the basketball and rebounding. I thought they were really hurt on the glass at both ends by the Rams. Hicksville has to find a way to extend possessions by getting some offensive rebounds, and then they have to get more possessions by protecting the basketball. Those 11 turnovers mean 11 less potential shots or more if they offensive rebound.
As the Aces will inbound, moving from right to left. On the flip side, if you're Tinora coach Andrew Thiel, you're up by 20. What do you want to see from your team?
Well, you want to see the same type of intensity, effort, and energy we saw in the first half, but they
Cue
have
Christine Meyer.
There you go. Exactly. But they have to finish better. This is something I think it's really plagued Tinora throughout the season. They just have not finished inside like they're capable of doing. So they've got to be strong inside when they get it. No need to rush those shots. Use that backboard. And once they do that, boy, this team is going to be 8 to 10 points better per ball game.
Look at this. Coming out to start the second half, Hicksville is out of that zone in a man-to-man. Meyer with the board, goes up strong, can't finish. Durfee's there, muscles it up and muscles it in. There again is just a benefit that most high school teams don't have, a 5'11" point guard. That's what she can do on the glass.
Well, again, that's one of those blue-collar plays, and that's always the message, from any coach in any ball game. We want to outwork teams. We want to win those blue-collar plays. That's getting to those 50-50 balls. That's taking a charge. That's extended rebounds by going to the glass, and they've really done that here throughout this contest.
Well, they went down low to Krebs. I think they can do that anytime they want tonight, but she kicks it back out, and they repeat her. Junior on freshman. Durfee for three. That bricks off the base of the iron. Look at that. Oakley draws the foul.
And again, another blue-collar play. Credit to Oakley there on that backside. This is the third offensive rebound here in just over a minute of play in this third quarter. And now Nova Oakley be rewarded by heading to that charity stripe. She connects on the first of two.
Again, a 57% free throw shooter. The foul goes against Sturry. That is her second. Oakley's second is on the way. It is long, and Christina Meyer rips it away, but then has it stolen by Adams. Oh, Mull got away with an extra half step, and at the other end, was that Baldwin? Yep, Baldwin gets two off the square for 6. Oakley spots up for 3, and this will bounce over the backboard and out of bounds, and you see Oakley just kind of bury her head in her hands. Nova Oakley, 1,000 points in her career coming earlier this season. Oh, what a heads-up play by Eowyn Blanchard. She can't finish. Oakley's there. That just pads your rebound and your offensive stats. Eowyn Blanchard say, you know what, I should get an assist on that.
Well, she's already asking the stat person.
Oh!
Boy, it's going to be an undercut here. This will go against Christina Meyer once the dust settles.
Meyer has been in overdrive since the opening tip, though. She isn't asking for any quarter, and she's giving none.
No, and those are the hustle plays you love. You know, you're going to have some fouls just because of that aggressiveness, but that's a foul you certainly live with. But she continues to do all she can defensively.
Oh, that's going to be an easy travel call on McKenna Rice. There's where having a 6'2 center down low just gets into the opposition's head.
Yeah, that time they kind of gave her the ball in a bad spot there, kind of in between there, and she took a couple extra steps. That'll be the third Hicksville turnover here in the third quarter.
Blanchard spots up for three. It's off the heel of the iron. Look at Meyer crashing, and we've got a jump ball. And she ties up Baldwin, and the arrow points to Hicksville.
That's a great play because that was a Hicksville rebound all the way, but instead of giving up going to the other end, just went in there, got the tie up. And even though they don't get the arrow, you know, again, that's a blue collar play that means the next time there's a held ball, the Rams will get the possession. So almost like half of a turnover right there.
They were coming out in a full court press, but nice job by the Aces to go over the top of it. Reverse, and Mo's not afraid to shoot three, and you just see why right there. Her 15th point of the ball game comes in the form of a Premier Bank three, and we'll have a full timeout as Andrew Thiel is not exactly happy with his team's defense. They lead it by 20, 43-23. We're back after this Mark Moats Ford timeout. You're watching DCTV Sports.
Simplify your everyday banking with convenient account options and digital banking features that fit your unique lifestyle. Premier Bank, everyday banking solutions designed for you. Explore solutions today at yourpremierbank.com.
.541 showing on the third quarter clock. A little bit of a run, although it is a push right now. 5 points apiece for Hicksville and Tinora to open up the second half. But Andrew Thiel not exactly happy, I think, with the way Hicksville has scored. And he's giving it to him about the defensive end of the court right now.
Well, that last possession, that's a breakdown on defense. You have a proven scorer in Devaney Moll who lit them up for 12 points in the opening half. And she's their best three-point shooter, but yet she was left all alone there on that ball reversal. So that was a no-no. You know, you have to make her earn things. She's too good a player to give that kind of room to, because if she's got separation, she can hurt you.
Oakley open for three off the front of the iron. Pardon me, that was Durfee. Oakley with the board. She leaves it short. Again, Scoop, it just goes back to what you're saying. Finishing inside. I think the word to use for Tinora tonight has been almost.
Well, you're right. They had another offensive rebound in that last possession, but again, they came up empty. They got a shot from ground zero.
Blanchard wants a three. This is off the heel of the iron. Oakley pulls it down. There you go. Feed Krebs, even if it comes back out. And now refeeder. She's reposting, and she leaves it short. Again, is it just, I think it's a combination of things. You can tell when a player is unsure about a shot, when they short arm it. And secondly, Krebs turned, and how many times have we seen it for tonight? Tinora getting within 5 feet of the basket, anticipating defense being there, and in their own head, they're affecting their own shot.
Yeah, you're right. And again, I think you have to use the glass a little bit more. But again, I love how they're getting post touches. You have to get post touches. Even if you're not going to get the shot, get those post touches. It's going to open up some perimeter shooters. You're going to reroute themselves once that entry pass goes inside.
I would say not just post touches, but dribble penetration into the paint, because right there, that should have been a basket at the other end. It's a turnover, and now you leave an opportunity, and Kennedy Adams comes away with a Premier Bank three.
Yeah, Adams is a solid player. You cannot let her catch and shoot in rhythm, and last thing you want to see if you're Coach Thiel is let her get warmed up.
Krebs got a good look that time, as we've got a jump ball, or do we have a foul?
I think we're going to have a foul this
we
time
are.
on the Rams.
This one's going to go against Emma Bailey, her second. But Scoop, kind of piggybacking off that thought there, what we're seeing is Tinora with about 80-85% aggression. They're getting good looks. They're getting into the right spot, but then not being 100% aggressive, or I guess I'd say confident, once you go up with that shot.
Yeah, I totally agree. And right now, Tinora has to turn up and down. This was a 38-16 ball game halfway through the second quarter. And here they are, Rams now just with 43 points. Meanwhile, Hicksville has cut into the lead.
Blanchard. That was a confident shot. Give her a Premier Bank 3. She's got 10 on the night.
Well, that's a good-looking secondary break. You know, they did everything right. They pushed it up. Then credit to spotting her there, setting up there beyond the arc.
3 well short, but Longboard kicks out right to Baldwin. They'll reverse it. Quick shot for 3. This one off the heel of the iron by Sanders, and the whistle sounds.
A nice rebound by Ashton Sturia is going to be fouled. I believe that's going to go against Tatum Krebs. And that should put Ashton Sturia to the free throw line to shoot a pair, trying to get the lead under 20 points.
And she does. She is not a great free throw shooter, Scoop, at just 33%. But she drains her first there. That is not Tatum Krebs at the line. That is Ashlyn Sturry.
Yeah, Sturry, one of the few seniors on this Hicksville roster, but there she makes good on the back end as well. It's now the lead down to 18 here for the Rams.
Oakley reverses it to Durfee. Oh, nice movement without the ball, and look at that. That is a strong move by Eowyn Blanchard.
A nice job by Eowyn that time to move without the basketball. Great floor spacing that time by the Rams, and she cut into that lane. Got a nice entry pass, great finish.
Mull fades away from 15, just a bit off the mark, an offensive board, nothing doing. Second chance, no good. Blanchard finally comes down with it, but it's 1-on-4. That's great transition D by Hicksville. Blanchard feeling it from the wing, short. I'll give her credit. She followed her shot there, but that's just a good box out by Adams.
Oh, I like that. You know, there are several times I thought in that first half where Tinora failed to foul their shot. And again, that could come back to bite you in some of those tight games. You might get an extra 2 or 3 possessions by just the shooter alone fouling the shot. She's going to know better than everybody else where that rebound will be had.
Durfee picks up the foul for Tinora. That will be her second. But again, it will send the freshman Mull to the line.
And credit Hicksville. I think their aggressiveness here in this third quarter has forced these 5 fouls on the Rams. But Mull cannot connect on the first of 2. She's had a good night, but boy, she has really had to work hard at both ends.
She hits 1 of 2 here. And the lead cut to 19. 2:14 left to go in the third quarter. Durfee breaks some mild pressure, and Coach Theo wants, I believe, a full timeout. So we'll break with them. Mark Motes Ford, serving the Defiance community since 1916. Located on County Road 424 in Defiance and online at markmotesford.com. 19-point lead by the Rams. We'll take a quick timeout. Back with more on DCTV Sports. Two minutes, 10 seconds left to go third quarter. Rams in control over the visiting Aces, 48-29. Brent Balbanon alongside Scoop Miller. Regular season finale for both these two teams. They both know where they will be playing next week. For Hicksville, they will be hosting Ayersville. I believe that's an 8-9 seed matchup out of that bracket. Somebody's got to win. Somebody will advance. Tinora drawing the 3rd seed. They draw a first-round bye. And then their first game will be Saturday, the 15th.
Yeah, I think both teams have to be happy with their draw. The fact that Hicksville has a chance there against the 9 seed Ayersville, a great 8-9 matchup. And then, of course, Tinora, the 3 seed, going against number 6 seed Liberty Center. Liberty Center, the team that took out the Rams last year in that district championship.
And Liberty Center is a 6th seed. That should tell you everything you need to know about how tough that bracket's going to be. Blanchard testing the waters. Nice feed down low. Oakley went up strong. That's pinball, and I believe it's kicked out of bounds by Nova.
Well, nice job there by that Aces defense to force another Ram turnover.
How many do you have for both teams right now?
Right now I have Hicksville on the evening with 15.
Wow.
Meanwhile, Tinora with 9.
Sub 10 this late in the third. And make it another turnover for Hicksville on the double dribble. Durfee, sometime at the next stoppage of play, I want to finish our analysis of Julia Durfee. We just haven't been able to, and where she projects at the next level. As long three, airmailed by Spangler. Whistle sounds for the battle underneath. Durfee's 5'11". She's clearly got handles. She can be technically a guard, although at the next level I don't think it'll be a point, but certainly an off guard, maybe even a small forward. She said the coaching staff projects her maybe as a power forward of 4 as Blanchard bites her lower lip and misses the free throw. She can be a little bit of everything. I don't think you pigeonhole Julia Durfee when she goes to Bluffton, do you?
No, she's a slasher. She can knock down shots perimeter. She runs the floor very well, and she will be a tough guard. The fact she's 5'11" and can go off the dribble or also beyond the arc. So that'll be interesting to see how she fits in with the Beavers.
Well, and depending on what position you play her at, you could post her up too, couldn't you?
Oh, absolutely. And again, it's really going to depend how teams are going to match up. Are you going to try to put quickness on her, maybe a smaller guard, or do you go with the big where she's going to be able to maybe go downhill, go to the rack?
Strong two-handed board by Krebs. Here comes Blanchard. Dribble penetration, maybe just a little ahead of herself by Coy. She manages to keep control. Tinora doesn't need to be in any rush here, although Spangler on the drive, and Hall will make her earn them from the line. Devaney Hall with her second.
Well, credit Madison Spangler. You know, she had that quick first step. And again, the aggressor typically gets the call. Great job attacking the rack. And Mull forced to foul. Now Spangler, a 51% free throw shooter.
Oh, wow.
That one to go.
Woo! How did that get down? That is what you call a shooter's touch. That ball just deadened on the heel of the iron. She'll get another. That one looked much better, didn't it?
Yeah, good looking stroke right there. Anytime you go 2 for 2, you're certainly going to take it. Now the Rams at 51 points here. Only one time all season that they've scored north of 55 points.
Mull, good looking shot from about 7 feet out.
Again, she's got a complete game. That's the mid-range jumper. Nice job recognizing she had a little space, and she took advantage and cashed in.
She's got 18 on the night. 3 seconds, 2 seconds. I don't think they're aware of it. Spangler throws up a prayer, and that'll do it. So it was a 20-point lead at the half. It's a 20-point lead at the end of the third quarter. Rams 51, Aces 31. We'll take a Mark Moats Ford timeout. Final 8 minutes. When we come back, you're watching DCTV Sports.
Estill Chevrolet Cadillac is this area's new and used car headquarters, earning your trust one satisfied customer at a time. Estill Chevrolet Cadillac, North Clinton Street in Defiance, and online at drivebobestill.com. For the past 70 years, Midwest Community Federal Credit Union has been your financial partner, helping you achieve your dreams and secure your future. Midwest Community Federal Credit Union, with locations in Defiance, Bryan, and Napoleon. Find out more at midwestcommunity.org. Visit Mark Moats Ford and check out some of the best new Ford models. Mark Moats Ford has been serving the Defiance community since 1916. Visit them today, County Road 424 in Defiance, and online at markmoatsford.com.
Fourth and final quarter just underway as we welcome you back to the Emerald. 20-point lead for host Tinora over visiting Hicksville, 51-31. Rams got a, oh wow, how did that ball go in? It looked like Joycelyn Baldwin was maybe 2 feet behind the backboard, and somehow she banks in a prayer.
That's that go-to move that she has with her length. She's able to get that to go off the window. Here's an offensive rebound by Krebs.
Give her some garbage.
Again, just too many offensive rebounds given up by the Aces tonight.
Here comes that press and deflected by Blanchard. Meyer fouled from behind by Adams. That's going to be a foul on the floor. She didn't have possession, was going up with it. So the Rams will inbound on the baseline. Ball deflected. That was a little bit of a nonchalant pass. Here's where, again, you're looking at a 6'2 center. I don't want to say just throw it up in the middle of the paint and let her go get it, but for lack of a better term, I would think they'd have something set up for Tatum Krebs. How about on the weak side, and Blanchard can't finish. Oh my goodness, she's frustrated. She's biting her lower lip, and at the other end, here's Adams. It goes trickling off the iron. Nova Oakley wants to run, a rare fast break. Bounce pass to Blanchard, and goes just a little deep. Meyer has been everywhere tonight, and it's almost turned into kind of a playground ball right now.
A great hustle play by Meyer to come down there and get that extra possession, and she's going to be hammered. Question is, was it on the shot or before? I think they're going to get it before the shot.
It's going against Steary, and it's on the floor. That's a huge break for Hicksville. Meyer, top of the key. Let's see what Tinora can do when they reset. Here you go. Get your post to touch. That was a little out of control, and she ends up tapping it to Baldwin. Baldwin hustling. That's good transition D by Oakley. Loose pass, foul. Right now, Scoop, both teams playing just a little helter-skelter.
Yeah, right now, just a little bit too much chaos, I think, especially in transition. But credit Kennedy Adams. She was on that backside, saw that ball get deflected, then she made a strong move to the rack, and she is fouled. Now the first to two for the junior, up and in. Adams, a 65% free throw shooter on the season.
That foul was charged to Meyer. She's got 4, and she will have to take a seat on the bench. Adams second. It's pure. 10 points per ball game. That's her average right now. She has 7. High blocks, Bailey kind of going east-west. Oakley stripped, but Bailey is there. Oakley with a nice pump fake on the drive. Little loose with the ball, forces up a shot. And Krebs didn't want to run into anybody, so here comes Baldwin, and we have a foul at the other end.
Credit Hicksville, for only having 7 players, they're not backing down.
Nope.
I mean, they're still playing awfully hard. I mean, they're on fumes right now, no question about it. But, boy, they're leaving everything out there. And now the freshman, Jocelyn Baldwin, who's a 65% free throw shooter, rims the first to 2 out from the charity stripe. But, again, Brent, you go back to the midway point of the second quarter, it was a 22-point Ram lead. And right now just an 18-point Ram lead. So they've been treading water here for the better part of a quarter and a half now.
And, again, Hicksville came out of that zone for a while. As a spot up, almost banked in 18-footer. There's Krebs. Again, just doesn't quite have the touch. How about this time? No. Krebs' third time is a charm.
Great job there by Krebs just to stay with it, but I'd love to see her use that backboard a little bit more. But the third time was a charm. There's going to be a blocked shot as
Meyer blocked Mull. Back up to 20. Are you serious? Do you have a heat check in you? That ball barely caught iron, and Krebs smacks her hands together. And that is not the transition D that Andrew Thiel wanted to see.
Credit Baldwin. She runs the floor so well that time, the recipient of a nice diagonal pass. She uses the window, gets to go in.
Krebs, an ill-advised pass into a double team trying to find Bailey, and it's another turnover. Nobody's picking up Mull. Adams on the drive on the left wing. Lots of contact. Johnny on the spot, and that one is going to be an easy dozen for Joycelyn Baldwin.
Good transition by Hicksville. Continued attack. Good baseline drive by Adams. Great backside rebound and finish by Baldwin.
Baldwin in double digits now, as I mentioned. 12 points, 55-39. This is going to be a long three by Oakley. Nice job by Durfee. She got a little love tap going out of bounds, and she throws it away, and she wanted a foul. Not one coming, and Baldwin at the other end can't finish. Wanting to run. Here comes Oakley, stopping and popping from 17. The iron's been unkind. Look at Durfee crashing, and it's knocked out of bounds. Last touched by McKenna Rice for Hicksville. You mentioned it. The Aces have almost played Tinora dead even here in the second half. Actually, they've won the second half by a few points.
They're playing hard. I give them a lot of credit because it's been easy with just 7 players. You're down 20 at the break, but they came out and played with some intensity.
Spangler nothing doing. Bailey's there. Durfee trying to crash. Who wants it more right now? Nice board by Durfee. Up top, Blanchard for 3.
How about Awen Blanchard that time? No hesitation. We're going to have a full timeout here after the Premier Bank 3.
We'll take a Mark Moats Ford timeout. 58-39. Just under half of this fourth quarter left to go. We're back with more at the Emerald. You're watching DCTV Sports.
Discover affordable transfer opportunities at Northwest State.
Start here and save thousands on tuition.
Our advising team will help you get your credits transferred.
So don't wait another minute. Get started today.
Having a little fun. Oh, goodness. Name this group.
Soft sell.
Yes! Yes! Oh, having a little fun in the stands. There's a group just underneath us. I'm not sure whose parents they are, but they dance. Actually, they don't just dance, they perform every musical song in between timeouts. Brent Balbinot alongside Scoop Miller. It was Tainted Love, and I quizzed you on your 80s pop culture. Who sings Tainted Love?
Soft Cell.
Soft Cell, one-hit wonder. As we are back, and a nice defensive stop right there by Tinora Meyer. I'd love to see, number one, rebounds. I would love to see steals. I'd also love to see deflections because she has just been an absolute alley cat tonight.
Yeah, and I'd love to see the floor burns too because those are mounting up. But, again, she's got that one gear out there, and she brings so much energy to the floor. It's been a big part of this 20-point spread. We've seen most of the game here tonight.
58-39, coming up on 3 minutes left to go in the game. Coach Thiel, we're looking at, I think, a bit more patience. It looks like everybody running the offense a little bit sharper. I think they maybe got a little too street ballish for his taste.
They did. They came down, a lot of quick shots, a little bit out of character for Tinora. You've got the game in hand, so sometimes hey, I might be hitting the bench here soon, so I want to get one last shot in. But right now, they're back to their offensive set here.
That's a shot Nova Oakley would have taken prior to the timeout. They're running the offense here. Better ball movement, although with a deflection. Does Meyer want this three? She does. Doesn't catch any iron, and a board. A little bit of a love tap as Blanchard heads to the floor, and I believe it's going to be Hicksville's ball.
Well, that time they moved the ball. They got a wide open three, so I think they're certainly happy with that. But they were taking shots you can get at any time.
Oh, it is Tenora's ball. Follow your shot right there. That would have been it. Now Oakley does track it down in the back quarter. They're going to call an over and back or a foul.
I think we're going to have a foul. That'll go against Sturry. As Ashland commits the foul in the backcourt, her second foul, the fourth on the Aces. So here on out, Tinora will be in the penalty.
Well, they actually have Sanders up on the board for the foul, 5 and not 15. So I'm not sure if which the public address announcer or the board is correct here. Either way, 2:21 left to go in the ball game. Oakley just a lot more patient, and as I say that, she trips over the court monster. I'm not sure what popped out from underneath the hardwood there, but on the football field we call that a grass snake or a turf snake. Not sure what the equivalent is in basketball. Well, I will say this. When Hicksville gets healthy, this is a team that you cannot take lightly.
No, they've made great strides from a year ago, and this is a team that's going to be even better next year.
Right now, Tinora is a team of the present. You're going to walk out of here with a sizable double-digit win, and now you're going to have the better part of a week to basically practice and heal up. What is your focus if you're Andrew Thriel and the Rams over the next 5 days?
Well, your focus is working on those things that you need to shore up. You're working on you. Yeah, you're going to have a game plan. You're going to have a scout report, but you need to really shore up those things that you can improve upon. You know, we talked about free throw shooting, finishing inside, you know, doing the checkout, sustaining them. And, you know, Tinora came out so aggressive, dominated the boards, but yet in the second half they've got away from that a little bit. And, again, I think you give Hicksville some credit on that because they have not gone away quietly here tonight.
No.
And now Kennedy Adams, a junior, will head back to the charity stripe to shoot a pair. First one up and in. She's another one that's got a high upside. Really look forward to seeing how she does next week in the tournament, but also looking ahead to next year as well. Her mom was an excellent player for the Edgerton Bulldogs back in the day. And there she connects on the back end as well. Now the lead at 17 points here for the Rams.
Well, Adams on the night. Let's see, we got 5 and 4. She got 9 points, so almost at her average. 90 seconds and counting left to go in this one. Oakley sizes it up. Go up and finish strong, kid. Yes, she does.
Well, that's good offense. You pass up a good shot for a great shot. Great recognition, strong downhill drive. That's something they did so well in the first half. They went to the rack, and it continued to pay off.
Oakley with 15 on the night, so slightly above her average. As we approach 60 seconds left in this one. And a double dribble by Kennedy Adams. Just got a little ahead of herself.
Well, that time, pretty good defense. I thought they did a nice job trying to anticipate that drive there, was able to get a piece of the basketball.
And Eowyn Blanchard, one of the seniors on this year's team, getting a round of applause as she heads to the bench. My guess is Oakley and Durfee in the next 56 seconds might get the same curtain call. Oakley out in between the circles. She's just going to dribble this one. Oh, they missed Durfee cutting through. Little two-person weave out in between the circles. And I believe Coach Thiel's going to call a timeout and sub out for his seniors here. And wait for this to happen because we're going to hear a huge round of applause. And there it is. They'll get to leave the court together. Oakley. Coaches are waiting to high-five you. Matter of fact, we're going to see wholesale substitutions. And a well-deserved round of applause for a senior class that has represented not just Tinora basketball, but the school and the community with great distinction.
Well, I totally agree, and a nice gesture that time from Coach Thiel, realizing what these girls have done for the program throughout their careers. So they do get a nice ovation here as they step off the court here for the final time. As in
the regular season. They'll be back here on Saturday the 15th, but it will be postseason. And they've got plans to go a little deeper than they did a year ago. Their season ended last year at Anthony Wayne High School. So we've got all kinds of subs here.
What's intriguing, you know, they're playing the team right away that knocked them out of the tournament last year, so that has to provide a little extra motivation as well.
Ball is a little loose underneath as we're going to try and get some names to numbers for the Rams. Checking in. I see Hadley Spieth. I see, almost feel like Romper Room. You remember that? Where the lady looked through her magic wand. Everybody that she saw. India Oakley. No, she's not on. Yes, she is. Indy Oakland, number 3. Affectionately termed her Itty Bitty at 5'3" as the buzzer sounds. And this one is in the books. Rams win their regular season finale, 60-41, 12-9 overall. More importantly, 5-2 in conference play. The Aces will try to hit the reset button as they fall to 6-16 and 1-6. We'll break it all down with your South 66 Lanes postgame show. Don't you go anywhere. We're going to take a Mark Moats Ford timeout. Back after this, you're watching DCTV Sports.
Proudly serving the area with the highest quality contracting services for nearly 100 years. Baker Schindler Company of Defiance and Paulding. 419-782-5080. Online at baker-schindler.com. Simplify your everyday banking with convenient account options and digital banking features that fit your unique lifestyle. Premier Bank, everyday banking solutions designed for you. Explore solutions today at yourpremierbank.com. Estill Chevrolet Cadillac is this area's new and used car headquarters, earning your trust one satisfied customer at a time. Estill Chevrolet Cadillac, North Clinton Street in Defiance, and online at drivebobestill.com.
Back at the Emerald, a little bit of buzz here as a light crowd still kind of milling around. There's the regular season finale for both these two teams, and in the end, host Tinora, just too much firepower. Deeper bench and getting the job done as they had a 20-point lead at the half. They end up winning by 19, 60-41. Time for your South 66 postgame show. Brent Balbinot alongside Scoop Miller. We'll break this one down as we anticipate being joined by Coach Thiel, and not sure how many or which players he will send up. But if he does, we can guarantee you we'll talk to them all. Let's go ahead and run down your scoring totals first. Leading the charge, going out in a blaze of glory. How about this? The freshman, Devaney Mull, 5'11", and how good is this young lady going to be over the next 4 seasons? Hard to believe. She's just in her first year of varsity basketball. She finishes with 18 on the evening to lead all scorers. One other player for the Aces in double digits, Joycelyn Baldwin. Again, you got a couple of underclassmen, a couple freshmen leading the charge for Hicksville tonight as she finishes with 12. She had 4 in the first half, 8 in the second. Kennedy Adams, 1 point away from double figures. The junior point guard finishes with 9, and then a deuce, 2 free throws for Ashlyn Steary. On the flip side, for the Rams, balance and a lot of it. Multiple players in double figures, including 7 bench points, but let's start with the leading scorer, senior Eowyn Blanchard. She had 7 at the half. She finishes with 16. Good balance, including 3 3-pointers tonight. Hot on her heels, Nova Oakley. Couple points better than her per-game average of 13 as she finishes with 15 tonight. That also includes a couple of free throws. 9 points for senior point guard Julia Durfee. She just missed a double-digit score herself. Tatum Krebs, 6'2 center with 8. a deuce for Christina Meyer, but Meyer did so much more on the boards, and defensively she was an absolute alley cap this evening. And then 7 bench points, Madison Spangler with 4, and Amelia Coy draining a 3. Just too much firepower as it all adds up to a 19-point victory for the Rams, 60-41. Scoop, you talked about turnovers being bossed with the ball. What did you have for both teams unofficially?
Well, unofficially for the Hicksville Aces, they ended up turning the basketball over 19 times tonight, 11 in the first half, 8 in the second half. Meanwhile, for the Tinora Rams, they turned it over 11 times. They had 6 turnovers at the break, turned it over 5 more times in the second half. So, both teams realize they've got to shore that up a little bit. But for as aggressive games it was, for as physical it was, I thought Tinora, did a formidable job there of taking care of the basketball, especially when they were pushing and going downhill for really most of this 32 minutes here tonight.
Look, a lot to build on for both teams. If you're Hicksville, you can say we basically played them even for the second half, and that was without 2 of your key players, including 1 starter and McKenna Baird, who is homesick right now. So rest assured, we didn't see a full complement for the Aces. They will be taking on Ayersville next Tuesday in the opening round of the sectional playoffs. On the flip side for the Rams, everybody made a contribution of some sort. Coach went 8 deep, but you've got some extra time. So I know there's that fine line about resting, healing, recharging, but when you've got almost a full week, actually a little over a full week, you also can work on a few things. What's that happy medium? How do you strike that balance if you're Tinora over the next 8 to 9 days?
Well, I like the fact they do have a little bit of time there to prepare, but I think you want to still keep a high intensity. You're probably going to shorten the practice time a little bit, but you want your kids dialed in. You want them focused. It's going to give you a little bit more time to do some individual work, which I think will pay off because we talked about it on air, how important it is, the footwork inside, using the window,
following your shot.
Yeah, following the shot. I mean, all the little things. One thing I always remember that Bobby Knight told me back in the day was finish through contact. I think that's something they have to do inside because they left a lot of points on the board. They still had not a season high, but their second highest total this season at 60 points. But think about what they can do if they start finishing consistently inside. This team will be a tough out if they can get that done.
With the win, they are now 12-9 overall. Tinora 5-2 in GMC play. With the loss, the Aces fall to 6-16 and 1-6. But next week starts the second season, and I know it's a cliche, but it's true. Everybody's record is 0-0. At that point, it's about basically earning the right to wear the uniform one more game at a time.
Yeah, this is the fun part of the season. You put all the work in during the season, during the off season, during the preseason, and this to me is your reward. So, but as you mentioned it, there's no guarantees of tomorrow. Nope. So it doesn't matter who you're playing. Everybody's undefeated once you step into that tournament. And your goal is to win the day, move on, play for another game. So certainly the focus for Tinora will be on the Liberty Center Tigers.
We're going to take another quick timeout. Back with more of the South 66 postgame show. I see Tinora's coaching staff and players coming out of the tunnel, so we anticipate them joining us for a couple of postgame interviews. Don't you go anywhere. You're watching DCTV Sports.
For the past 70 years, Midwest Community Federal Credit Union has been your financial partner, helping you achieve your dreams and secure your future. Midwest Community Federal Credit Union, with locations in Defiance, Bryan, and Napoleon. Find out more at midwestcommunity.org. Visit Mark Moats Ford and check out some of the best new Ford models. Mark Moats Ford has been serving the Defiance community since 1916. Visit them today, County Road 424 in Defiance, and online at markmoatsford.com.
Discover top quality healthcare education at Northwest State. Our instructors have real-world experience, so they know how to prepare you for great career opportunities. Northwest State, where you'll get the top quality healthcare education you need to succeed.
proudly serving the area with the highest quality contracting services for nearly 100 years. Baker Schindler Company of Defiance and Paulding, 419-782-5080. Online at baker-schindler.com.
We welcome you back to the South 66 Lanes postgame show at the Emerald. We're going to make that nickname stick.
You've been trying.
Coach, we're trying. Pull your mic up just a little bit there, Coach, so we can hear you, because we know that he's not only informative, but he's also entertaining. Coach Steele coming up to join us for the postgame. Brent Balbinot alongside Scoop Miller as the Rams finish up strong in their regular season finale at home, 60-41 against a Hicksville squad that wasn't at 100% strength and really was scrappy in that second half. I know people will look at this and say 19-point win must have been a cakewalk, but you really got a push in the second half. Your thoughts on your team's performance?
Yeah, the girls did pretty well. Hicksville came out in the second half really forcing the tempo stuff a little bit, pressured the ball a lot better. And I thought the girls did a really good job of welcoming the pressure tonight, handling the pressure. I think they were smart with the ball, took care of it. We just talked in the locker room about how we had a nice lead there in the third, some in the fourth, and we don't need to be forcing some of the shots, run some offense, be patient. But beyond that, no, the girls did a really good job tonight executing, working together as a team. What's that?
No, I was look. You read my mind, because there was a point where it was probably about a 2.5 minute stretch where it seemed like things maybe got a little street ballish, and you called a timeout. And to their credit, they responded and hit the reset button. These
girls they're always really receptive. Sometimes you just need to take a timeout because these girls want to go all the time, which is great. But sometimes we need to slow down, take care of the ball, be patient, relax a little bit offensively, create some opportunities, get the defense to move around a little bit instead of just go at them. So they did that. After that timeout, I thought the girls came out, relaxed, and did a lot better job.
Yeah, Coach, the focus from the get-go of your team was just outstanding. You guys proved or showed right away that you're going to be the aggressor. I saw it at both ends. What do you like about your start you saw this evening?
We got the shots to fall to the start. We told the girls in the locker room, we're coming out, we're setting the tone right away. They're not dictating what we do, we're dictating what they do. Offensive intensity, creating opportunities for your teammates, getting shots up. But I think I'm big on defense, and the girls I think they pride themselves on defense at this point too. Defense is going to win games. We talked about at halftime, they didn't like ball pressure. So if we can get pressure on the ball, they're going to force some balls, out of bounds, different directions, and that's just what the girls did. They did a great job.
I'm looking down here, and I know we talked about this last week, and the per-game average for you, not including your last two games, but up around 44 to 45 points. But defensively, 39 points. I mean, you are holding the opposition to under 40 points. Does this team get the credit it deserves for playing at the defensive end?
I don't know that they do get the credit that they deserve, because defense is hard. But it's something we stress in practice, something we stress all season, every year, every day in practice, whatever the case is. The defense is going to win championships. It's not everybody's going to be able to score the ball every night. Sometimes it'll be A1, sometimes Noah, sometimes Jules, sometimes Madison or somebody else off the bench, Tatum, who you never know. But every girl on the floor can play defense. That's what we pride ourselves on that.
Defense travels, right?
Absolutely. Yes, it does.
Coach, you guys had great balance again tonight. I thought so many people stepped up for you. Not just your starters. You got some good bench minutes. You got good bench points. You really came out and dominated the boards early as well.
Yeah, the rebounds were great tonight. Our bench has been stepping up tremendously lately. It doesn't matter who's coming off the bench, but Madison Spangler's been an animal for us. Like last week at Ayersville, a week ago, she was the second leading scorer in the game, and that's pretty big for somebody to come off the bench. I think we had 17 points off the bench last week. I don't know what we had tonight off the bench, but 7. Not as good, but still, it's not always about points either, right? It's about defense too. And Madison went out there. She did a good job off the bench. Emma did a good job off the bench. Amelia's doing a good job off the bench. It doesn't matter who we plug out there. They're doing a good job, and it's total team effort right now.
We talked, obviously, about the usual suspects. I mean, Durfee was 1 point away from double digits. Nova and Aowen both in double digits. Christina Meyer only had 2 points. But you talk about an alley cat this evening. She was throwing her body all over the place. Don't know what she had for boards, but she had to have been close to double digits. Deflections, steals. I mean, she was just gritty tonight.
She's quick and she's aggressive, and that's something I've talked to I've talked to her about Julia, I should say. I've talked to Christina about Julia lately because most teams know that Julia is a great defender. And, being a senior, I need to figure out who's going to be my lockdown defender next year. And I talked to Christina about that. She's quick. She's aggressive. She'll throw her body all over the floor if she needs to. She's very physical. I think she embraces the physicality. She'll probably be a heck of a football player, too, but she's in volleyball. So, no, she embraces it. She does a great job. We just need to make sure we can keep her on the floor and not in foul trouble sometimes.
All right.
She knows that.
You got a little bit of time. You have extra time because you've got the first round bye. So your next game won't be until the 15th. What do you do? How do you strike the balance between rest, rehab, but also continue to focus, practice hard, and stay sharp?
Yeah, that's huge. A week from this Saturday, so we've got, 9 days before our next game. We do actually have Hilltop coming in on Tuesday to scrimmage with us a little bit. That'd be a pretty good matchup to prepare for Liberty Center. Tim Davis does a great job over there. We'll go back and watch film when we played them earlier in the season. We beat them, but it wasn't. It was a pretty close game. So we'll have to go back and watch film, kind of key in on some things, and like you said, the balance between getting healthy, making sure the girls are up to strength and everything, versus also getting in there and being ready to go, being prepared. It's a strong balance, but we'll have to see what we, maybe we get a day off here coming up. We'll see.
Second season. Coach, enjoy this one for tonight. Best
Thank
of
you.
luck to you, and we're looking forward to covering you in the postseason.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Congratulations.
Thanks.
We're going to take a quick time out. Back with more of the South 66 Lanes postgame show. Who wants to take the first two headsets, and who wants to shine by themselves? Okay, so with that said, I was thinking anyway, we're going to start with Eowyn and Nova, and Julia can run the anchor leg. How's that sound? Quick break. We're back with more right after this. You're watching DCTV Sports.
Simplify your everyday banking with convenient account options and digital banking features that fit your unique lifestyle. Premier Bank, everyday banking solutions designed for you. Explore solutions today at yourpremierbank.com.
Welcome back to. There's still a buzz here. There's still a few people around here. It's Tinora High School gym. Scoop, what are we nicknaming it?
The Emerald.
The Emerald. We're going to try and make that nickname stick. I think we should just bring maybe a can of green spray paint and just paint it right over where our camera sits up. What do you think?
I think so.
John Deere Green. You remember that tune? You guys country fans? They have no idea what I'm talking about. Brent Balbinot alongside Scoop Miller as our postgame show rolls on as the Rams win their regular season finale against a game Hicksville squad 60-41. It's time to talk with a pair of seniors. We've got a third waiting in the wings, and all of a sudden they just tighten up. I guarantee you these two have some personality to them. Nova Oakley and Eowyn Blanchard, we're going to make you guys talk. You okay with that?
Yep.
Yep, I figured they'd say it at the same time here. All right, in all seriousness, let's start with this one. You get to win your regular season finale, your senior year. I know, Eowyn, I talked with you about it during our player profile. Your senior season, it can become sentimental, right? You're thinking, this is the last time I do this, last time I do that. You guys seemingly have kept everything in good perspective. Are you still able to do that with your focus being on the postseason now starting next week? Eowyn, let's start with you.
Yeah, I think so.
Well said. Nova, how about you?
Yeah, I definitely think so. It's starting to get to us a little bit, but we're still focused.
Well, you guys lean on each other. I mean, this group obviously has some fun. There are some characters on this roster, but you know when it's time to get down to business as well.
Yeah, we have a lot of fun during practice. Like, I love these girls, but we definitely know, like, during the game, we can really get serious.
All right, Nova, you guys came off a tough loss Tuesday night. I know that's probably a game you guys wanted back, but you showed no signs of that carryover. You guys really came to play tonight. What was the mindset before this one started?
Well, it's our last regular season game, so we really wanted to come out with a good game, and we really that loss really drove us to win this game.
What was it like, too, because you had a tough game, a tough loss on Tuesday. I was at your practice the next day, and then all of a sudden you're turning around in less than 48 hours, and you're back on the court again. What's that do to you, not just physically, but mentally? How did you rehab, so to speak?
Just staying focused on the next game up and working to win that one.
Sounds a lot like coach speak, doesn't it? Maybe she'll have a clipboard and a whistle sometime in her future. Nova, same question for you, because it can take a lot out of you. It's a grind, right? If it were easy, everybody could do it. Do you have a secret when it comes to not only coming off a tough game, one practice, and then back on the court again? You're an ace at this now, being a senior. Do you have anything that you do in particular?
I think it's just good we lean on each other, we talk to each other, and we try not to dwell on the past, and we just focus on the next one.
And over last year, you guys awfully close there in the district there, losing to a very good Liberty Center team. But here you get a chance to maybe get a little redemption this year. How does that weigh in your mind as you're 9 days out here looking at the tournament?
That gives us that extra drive, that extra want. We just want it that much more this year, so I think that'll really drive us.
Have you guys been talking about that? I know I've asked both of you what the preseason conversations were, but did you continue to talk about what your overall goals have been with each passing week?
Yeah, for sure. To beat LC.
Because I was going to say, it's here now.
Yeah.
It's not like it's off in the future. It is here. You guys are okay with it? Sounds like the coaching staff is okay with talking about that, knowing what your expectations are. So when you do get there, you're not all staring at each other going, okay, we're here. What do we do now? How much more mature is this team maybe even compared to last year?
I think a lot more mature in ways. We work as a team better some ways too. So.
Yeah, we've definitely had a lot more time over the summer and this whole year to really get the team chemistry up, and I think that shows.
All right. Job's not done, right? Some unfinished business. What do you think we should ask Durfee over here when we hand the headset to her?
Everything.
Everything? All right. Stay tuned. We're going to do a bio on Julia Durfee when we come back. Quick timeout. We're back with more of the Southland 66 Lanes postgame show. You're watching DCTV Sports.
Estill Chevrolet Cadillac is this area's new and used car headquarters, earning your trust one satisfied customer at a time. Estill Chevrolet Cadillac, North Clinton Street in Defiance, and online at drivebobestill.com. For the past 70 years, Midwest Community Federal Credit Union has been your financial partner, helping you achieve your dreams and secure your future. Midwest Community Federal Credit Union, with locations in Defiance, Bryan, and Napoleon. Find out more at midwestcommunity.org.
Welcome back at Tinora High School Gymnasium. Brent Balbinot alongside Scoop Miller as the South 66 Lanes postgame show rolls on. She would say we saved the best for last, right?
Sure.
Senior Julia Durfee joins us. She has 9 points. We didn't have the assist, but I think she might have been pushing double digits. Played tremendous defense and just a great all-around game en route to a 60-41 victory. All right, I'll ask you the same question I asked your other two teammates. Senior season, regular season finale. It's now a win in your books. How does it feel?
Feels great. We have 5 seniors, so it's a lot, but we really lean on each other and help each other if we're having a bad day or a hard day. We help each other up, and we're great teammates to each other.
And speaking of great teammates, you guys had a great team effort tonight. I thought you guys were really connected, really at both ends starting out. How important is that for you guys to come to play and set the tone like you guys did tonight?
Very important.
No need to emphasize. Very important. Speaks for itself. Look, you were physical tonight. They were physical. And
yes.
I think they threw a couple of punches and maybe got your attention. You got one of two ways that you can respond. You can fold like a house of cards, or you can raise your level of play. When did it feel like for you, not just you individually, but you as a team, take that next step? Because all of a sudden, 10 points at the end of quarter number 1 turns into a 20-point lead at the half.
Yeah. We just really lean on each other. When I do a mistake, I try to up it up and get the ball again. Like, if I do a mistake, I'm going after it again. I'm getting that ball back. I'm like, I want this back. If I did something, I want my team to have that ball back because that's my mistake. But, yeah, I try my hardest to go back and get that ball.
You are a Swiss Army knife, extremely versatile. Obviously, at 5'11", you run the point, so you've got maybe a mismatch against a lot of other teams, but they'll run you on the wing. They'll run you underneath. I don't think we saw you post up tonight. Did you post? Not a lot tonight.
No.
You'll run on the bottom of that 1-3-1. You crash the glass. Is there anything you can't do? What did the coaching staff tell you they wanted your role to be coming into this season? Because you seem to do a little bit of everything.
Just have more confidence. I think my confidence has got a lot better, but just keep building that confidence and keep having a team effort, and yeah,
well said. Yeah. You get to win on senior night. That's got to feel good. But now here you are, into the tournament, the second season, so to speak. Everybody's undefeated. What's going to be the real focus next week for Tinora and trying to make a deep tournament run?
Just practice how we play. know what Liberty Center is going to do. If they have anything special, we'll practice it and get better at those 9 days.
But you're not unfamiliar with them.
No.
Unfinished business, I think, is kind of the phrase that's been used off mic here. But you know who knocked you out. You guys have high expectations. You can make a deep run. What's going to be the key to staying balanced but intense at the same time? Let me rephrase that for you, because it wasn't a trick question. Both Nova and Eowyn talked about the maturity of this year's team, maybe compared to last year. How far can that take you, knowing what to expect, but also at the same time knowing what you're capable of?
I don't know. We just have good team effort. Next year, I don't think they'll struggle as bad, but like this year we just have 5 seniors that we've played together since little, so it helps that we've been growing with each other for so long that we've built this like togetherness.
Great team chemistry.
Yes, that's what I'm trying to. Yeah, so it helps that we've been together for so long,
and you're planning on staying together for at least another few weeks, right?
Yeah, more.
Job isn't done. How much would it mean? This place, when it's full, has tremendous atmosphere. It's loud. It's a tough place to play. You have an open microphone right now. Everybody watching. You got the first round bye. Saturday, the 15th, you'll be right back here. Here's your call to fill this place. What are you telling Tinora fans?
Go Tinora.
That's pretty good. You want this place full, though, right?
Yes.
Don't stay home on Saturday night.
No, come here at Tinora Rams.
That was very staccato-like and very demanding. She's worth the price of admission.
Come support us.
All right. Julia, best of luck to you. Thanks for coming up and joining us. We're going to take a quick timeout. We are back to put a green and white bow on the South 66 Lanes postgame show. Don't go anywhere. You're watching DCTV Sports.
Visit Mark Moats Ford and check out some of the best new Ford models. Mark Moats Ford has been serving the Defiance community since 1916. Visit them today, County Road 424 in Defiance, and online at markmoatsford.com.
Discover affordable transfer opportunities at Northwest State.
Start here and save thousands on tuition.
Our advising team will help you get your credits transferred.
So don't wait another minute. Get started today.
Welcome back. Putting a wrap on the South 66 Lanes postgame show. Brent Balbinot alongside Scoop Miller as the Rams knock off the Aces 60-41. With it, finishing up the regular season at 12-9, 5-2 in conference play. Hicksville falls to 6-16, 1-6. But Scoop, the beauty of high school basketball is everybody gets at least one game in the postseason. We know that Hicksville will be healthy, back to full strength. At least we expect them to. This is a Tinora team, though, that's got the extra time off. You heard Coach Thiel mention 9 days. You've got a chance to balance out rest, but also focus. Man, let's start with Tinora here. How deep a run can this team make?
Well, I think the sky's the limit for this team. The fact that they have the talent, they have the depth. They've got so many different pieces that are connected, working together. And, again, they also have that experience. Last year, just a couple plays away, really, from perhaps getting to the regional tournament. So you know that's weighing big, but you also know the fact that they've had a good season. They'll have a target on their back, so they're going to have to come ready to play like we saw here tonight.
Again, Hicksville will have Ayersville on Tuesday night. The winner advances. As we mentioned, first round bye for Tinora, as it will be next Saturday right back here at the Emerald as they will play host to Liberty Center. Scoop, as always, appreciate you throwing on the headset, and we'll do a little work next week.
We'll look forward to it.
It's going to do it for our broadcast here this evening. Big thank you going out to our crew doing more than yeoman's work. Big thank you going out to our sponsors for helping make the broadcast a possibility. And as always, to you, the fan, for tuning in. For Scoop Miller, I'm Brent Balbinot saying thank you for joining us. Final score again this evening from the Emerald. Tinora 60, Hicksville 41. You've been watching a presentation of DCTV Sports.